7 things that keep 99% of people single. Everybody has their fair share of dating disasters, whether or not we like to admit it. Occasionally, we come on too strong or act too cold. We might want different effects or have inharmonious views that make it hard for us to stay together. The point is, certain connections are meant to fall piecemeal, whether it's because of change, bad timing, or incompatibility. But other times it might be our fault, and we do and indeed know it. Connections are a veritably well-studied content of psychology. But indeed, after decades of exploration, there's still so much we don't know about love. Romantic connections can be hard to navigate, and we're frequently shamefaced of complicating effects, indeed more with our drama and overthinking. Do you suppose you might be hurting your chances at true love? Have you had a long list of failed connections but can't feel to figure out where it all went wrong? When it comes to courting and connections, it's hard not to feel that you're a victim. After all, others can be cruel. You'll get hurt. And no, it is not always your fault. But the reality is that we hold further power over our romantic fortune than we frequently suppose. To a great degree, we produce the world we live in. Although we're infrequently conscious of this process, we can, in fact, make a choice whether to see our fate through a victimized lens or choose to be thing-directed and take power over our lives. We profit from fastening on what we can control and not what we can't. We can become apprehensive of the ways we impact the responses we get from others. Indeed, negative responses. So the question for the single person looking for love is, what are the internal challenges I need to face? It's not always going to be a perfect 50-50 split, but your time is enough important torn between being happy with your singlehood and being ready to find someone. Whatever the case may be, there is a time, no matter who you're and how happy you're with being single, where you kind of do not detest the idea of not being single presently. Obviously, if a swain does not just appear the nanosecond you want one to, incompletely due to a lack of quality options, I cannot help you with that. So here are 7 reasons why 99% of people are single. Before starting, do not forget to like, share, and subscribe. Turn on the notification bell so that you get notified as soon as we upload a video. Let's begin. 1. Defenses. Most people have been hurt in interpersonal connections. With time and painful jests, we all threat erecting up varying degrees of bitterness and getting defended. This process begins long before we start dating. In our springtime, when hurtful relations and dynamics lead us to put up walls or perceive the world through a sludge that can negatively impact us as grown-ups. These acclamations can beget us to become decreasingly tone defensive and closed out. In our adult connections, we may repel being too vulnerable or write people out too easily. However, for illustration, you were raised by parents or caretakers who were careless or cold. You may feel suspicious of people who show too important interest in you, and rather, you seek out connections that recreate dynamics from your history. You may also choose a mate who's frosty or distant. It isn't always easy to see when we've our defenses up. As a result, we tend to condemn our conventionality on external forces and fail to see that we aren't as open as we suppose. 2. Still being connected to once love's bones who really hurt you on social media. The subject of if you can ever really be musketeers with a partner is still over for debate. But that's not what we're agitating then. Some connections will always carry further meaning than others. And if you were the bone who ended up hurt, it's delicate to completely move past that. Seeing visual monuments of the person who completely broke your heart can keep pulling you back to that space. However, you need to stop following your partner online. If you really want check and the kind of mending that would allow a new relationship to blossom, press that unfollow or hide button and move on. Dating the same kind of clunker over and over and over again doesn't make you look veritably charming. The history may be in the history, but men are presumably going to wonder about the kind of person you are when you repeat the same miscalculations and do and make any changes to your guest or to the people you let into your life. It's no way too late to change. But an expansive courting history full of BS is going to be enough hefty red flag. 3. Unhealthy lodestones. When we act on our defenses, we tend to choose less, than ideal relationship mates. We may establish an unsatisfying relationship by opting a person who is not emotionally available. Because this process is largely unconscious, we frequently condemn our mate for the relationship's failed outgrowth. We tend to feel devastated or hurt by the repeated rejections without feeding that we're actually seeking out this pattern. Why do we do this? The reasons are complex and frequently grounded on our own bedded fears of closeness. Numerous people have an unconscious provocation to seek out connections that support critical studies they've long had toward themselves and renewal negative aspects of their springtime. These may be unwelcome, but breaking with old patterns can beget us a great deal of anxiety and discomfort, and make us feel strangely alien and alone in a more loving terrain. Our fears of parting with the image we developed of ourselves beforehand and starting to see ourselves in a more positive light paradoxically make us feel uneasy and may spark tone. Attacking studies like, "Who do you suppose you are? You're not that great." These fears may beget us to hold on to connections without eventuality, or to feel attracted to people who are not really available, because they support our negative image of ourselves, which feels more comfortable and familiar, albeit painful. 4. Unrealistically high norms. Currently, you see so numerous filmed and posts online about couples who are #relationship goals that it may start to cloud your judgment and give you unrealistically high norms. You might turn down great courting prospects or throw down a special connection you had with someone just because it wasn't everything you hoped it would be. But the verity is, occasionally connections are further about being the right person than chancing the right person. 5. Having a veritably specific idea of what your true love looks like. Physically, having a type is fine. We can't control what we're attracted to. But shutting people down because they don't fit every order on your checklist means you might be missing out on really great people you could be compatible with. Absolutely don't force yourself into anything you aren't into, but go into situations with an open mind. 6. Being a poisonous date. Poisonous dates are the bones who complain all the time. They're the bones who always condemn you. They may always turn effects around to make it someone additional's fault. They overreact to events. However, they could be you. If all of this sounds familiar, poisonous people are a huge energy drain, no matter how outwardly seductive or successful someone is. Toxin just in its sexy. Your outlook on life and how you carry yourself is everything. However, you are going to have a piss-poor courting life. If you have a piss-poor station, you can't hide a patient foul mood. It's veritably outputting because it permeates every aspect of your guest. From your conversational tone to your body language. It's okay to take a breath from courting and figure out why you were so angry or argumentative all the time. You should always work on yourself before you get involved with someone differently. 7. Undetermined history trauma. Whether it's a messy bifurcation, a poisonous relationship, or an unhappy nonage, our history can leave us with a lot of painful recollections and emotional scars that we frequently no way really get over. For the rest of our lives, we carry that trauma with us and intentionally let it ruin our connections. So until you resolve your particular problems and stop being visited by your history, your connections won't be suitable to stand the test of time. The subject of if you can ever really be musketeers with a partner is still over for debate. But that's not what we're agitating then. Some connections will always carry further meaning than others. And if you were the bone who ended up hurt, it's delicate to completely move past that. Seeing visual monuments of the person who completely broke your heart can keep pulling you back to that space. However, you need to stop following your partner online if you really want check and the kind of mending that would allow a new relationship to blossom. Press that unfollow or hide button and move on. So this is all for today's video. Do not forget to like, share, and subscribe. Turn on the notification bell so that you get notified as soon as we upload a video. Also, let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Because we love reading all of your comments, we genuinely appreciate your efforts whenever you guys engage with our videos. So this is all, and I will see you in next one.